This is Steve Higgs. We did a video a few weeks back, put it on YouTube, and sent it out to some of the members of Falconhead, all that we had emails for. And we're going to do another one. It was supposed to be another one last week, but we got busy, and so I promised we'd have a lot of stuff, so I'm going to cover a lot of stuff, and I'm going to cover it pretty fast. The first thing, we went to a board meeting this week, which was Monday, and my thing is, there again, we couldn't get on the agenda, and we ended up getting only 2 or 3 minutes to speak. So, number one, if the board isn't interested in what the members really want, they would give them more than 3 minutes to talk. The issue is 3 minutes, you can't get anything done. And they don't want to hear what you have to say, is basically what it boils down to. Number two, also, if you call to get on the agenda, they won't put you on the agenda. They put you in open forum where anybody can speak in open forum anyway. But there again, you only get 3 minutes. So I tried to get on the agenda because Nels Rodney told me that, hey, you get on the agenda, you can speak as long as you need to get your point across, okay? Didn't happen. He's a board member. Number three, this is a big one as far as I'm concerned, is family golf. We've had family golf forever out here, and it included your kids and your grandkids. This board has tried to change it back, not back, but they're trying to tell us that family golf is only for your current family. There's actually a letter that was sent out by Barbara Selby and John Simon. John Simon was the president of the board at the time it was sent out, and this was all voted on by the members. Why is the board fighting us so hard on this family golf? They're the ones that changed it. Why don't they just change it back and leave it alone? But instead, they've got lawyers invested in it. They're wanting a lawyer to check it out. There again, more money that we don't need to be spending for something that, let's say they get it changed. The lawyer says they can do it. Well, the next board that comes along can unchange it. So they're going to spend money on all these lawsuits, changing stuff out here, and then the next board that comes along is just going to change it back. It's just a waste of money. I got the financials from Herb the other day, and for 21 and 22, for 21 they spent $40-something thousand in legal fees, and they're already up to 20 or 30,000 this year. And I know in 2020 they spent probably over 100,000. Okay. So they're spending all of the members' money on legal fees, and then as soon as the board turns over or changes, then it all gets changed back to this direction. So it's just a waste of money. I don't understand it. Number four, the board has an attorney that sits at every board meeting. Now, they wasn't there this Monday. That's the first time the lawyer hadn't been there. We asked why they have him there and how much it costs to keep him there. They won't give us an answer. So, number five, and when you go to a board meeting and ask questions, they can never answer you. It's like they have no knowledge, completely incompetent, and afraid they're going to say something that will get them in trouble. That's what I see that's going on there. They're scared to death to say anything or do anything. Or they don't know what's going on. I don't know what the deal is. One question's been asked many times. Number 6, we asked to see the contract on the pool, that they hired the guy to redo it. The board voted, from what I've been told, to give the guy $25,000 upfront money to start working on the pool. the guy runs off with the money. We asked the board, well, was there a police report filed? They say no, because it's a civil matter. Well, that's a criminal matter. I promise you, if I paid somebody $25,000 and I had a contract and they run off with the money, the first thing I'm doing is going to the police department and getting things filed and try to get him arrested. He stole it, as far as I'm concerned. So there again, no information.
There was
Well,
no
Steve?
there was no police report done, and I don't know if there was even an incident done within Falconhead, within the members. But I do know, even if it's business, anything over a certain amount, it used to be $1,000, but I know anything over a certain amount is a felony, not a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
And as far as, to me, as far as if it's a civil matter, then we should be able to sue every board member that voted on to give him $25,000 up front to make them personally responsible to pay it back, because it's civil. If that's where they want to go with it,
Well, as far as I'm
That's true.
concerned,
It's the members' money.
it's the members'
It's
money.
just disappeared.
the board should be held reliable for all these lawsuits that they're getting Falconhead
Exactly.
into. They should have to pay that money back, because these lawsuits should never happen.
Their lawsuits, they know that
I
they
was-
can't win.
I
Even
was-
if they did win them, it can be changed right back.
I was looking over I've got documents here that go back to 2015. I got all the stuff here, right here, that was printed out of the office and given out. And $12,000 for the year of 2018, total legal fees for that year. Now, understand, that was minor things, and it might have been the Von Holker lawsuit that the $12,000 was spent on. I don't know. But anyway,
Yeah.
but the thing of it is, I can talk about being a board president. I was the board president for a year here, and I was the general manager at the same time. I worked for a year for free and didn't charge Falconhead anything. So I'm going to use this opportunity to give you a little bit of history of Falconhead. There was a company, well, it's Genco was one of the companies out here, okay? And Genco, at one time, had 1,395 lots. And they had a vote for every lot. So no member in Falconhead could beat them when they was voting in new board members, whatever. There's only 350 homes out here. And if they got lots, they might have 600 or 700 votes. Genco had 1,395. They put who they wanted on the board. They told the members tough. They didn't do anything for the members. They did all kinds of stuff. Okay? Then, so I was on the driving range, and I didn't know. I just moved here. I didn't know what was going on. And they say, well, you know, I said, you voting for the election? Oh no, we don't vote because we can't beat Genco, and you know, they're all got their heads in the sand and everything. So I me and a guy named Charles Ed. He's the one that got me involved. And I started going after everything and getting facts and stuff, and I ended up turning the board around. Nobody ran against me for the election. I ended up getting on the board, and they made me board president the first year because of all the underhanded dealings that was going on out here. And then I find out we're in a lawsuit. We have a lawyer on the board. His name's Daryl Roberts. And he's got us involved in a lawsuit that's going to bring Falconhead $1.6 million to $2 million. He's got the board members convinced. But I had dealt with Daryl for a year. You can't even get a straight answer out of him. In fact, one of the reasons that I got on the board and people started believing what I was saying was Daryl had lawsuits going on that the board didn't even know about. And I said, hey, we got Falconhead's in a lawsuit up there. I went to a board member and they go, Well, we don't know anything about it. And then here come Daryl down there to the putting range, and they asked Daryl, hey, we got a law. Yeah, we got a deal in the morning against size love over here, you know? And they didn't even know they was involved in it. Okay, so I take over and get going on this. Well, I go around Daryl and talk directly with the people he's got the lawsuit with. Well, long story short, they end up offering, he couldn't get nothing out of them. They offered Falconhead 660 pieces of property. It was a federal judge because everything was tied up in federal court. They offered Falconhead those 660 pieces of property worth $1 million. The board turned it down because Daryl Roberts told them that they were going to get $2 million. You know what they got? Zero. Not even a dime. Okay? That's one instance there. Okay? Then that was a bad decision of the board. I was the board president. I couldn't get them to do the right thing. Okay? So this is a history of boards in the past and that we've had. They can't seem to understand the real things that's going on out here. So anyway, that's Utah. And I just want people to know that we lost $1 million because of that. And then the next thing was, we had a flood the exact same year. And when I took over, Barbara Selby was the general manager. And so what happened was we had a flood in June or July. It flooded, I lost $300,000. Falconhead probably lost another couple of $100,000. They had equipment that was flooded. All the computers on the golf course was fried. Falconhead was $150,000 in the red. So we got rid of Barbara Selby. And when we got rid of her, well, she's friends with Daryl Roberts, and Daryl Roberts says it's going to cost you $500,000 to get rid of her because she had a contract. Well, she didn't have a contract. She never had a contract. Well, it went to court, so that's why I worked for Falconhead for a year for free, so it didn't cost Falconhead a dime to fight that lawsuit. It cost $50,000 to fight the lawsuit, but she was paid $75,000 a year. So as far as I'm concerned, her salary that we would have been paying her to do nothing paid for the lawsuit, and we're $25,000 to the better. So long story short, we end up pulling it out of this mess because we had great employees that jumped in, and we had a lot of people that volunteered to do work, and we went from $150,000 in the red to over $150,000 in the black in 2 years. Okay? So that's a little history that I want Falconhead to know that I've been involved with. So I know what I'm talking about whenever, I'm going to get into the financials real quick. I was pointing this out a while ago. I went to the meeting Monday, and Monday it says total restaurant sales for February 2022 was $10,000, $10,058. Their food cost was $5,728. So they want you to think that the restaurant made $4,000, something like that. Because in their new stuff, it's accrual, and what they've done, this is the same kind of crap that we had when Barbara and Daryl was here. It was accrual system. Everything up until 2020 was cash basis. It's the real story, okay? It was broke down. Every department had everything in it the way it was supposed to be.
Members have been questioning that. Why can't we understand the financials since 2020?
So here you go. It just says department. It just says restaurant. Okay, it's all restaurant. Jerry Moon was the one that come in and fixed the whole system for us. and put stuff where it was supposed to be. Now, what you get as far as salary goes, it's all lumped together. And nobody can tell you what it takes to run the golf course. Nobody can tell you what it takes to run the front gate or anything. So basically, I'm gonna go over this just so you'll know what it used to be and members could understand it. The restaurant in March of 2018, they did total income $11,565. Their food expense was $5,247. Their gross profit was $6,318. But now you got to put your expenses in, okay? And it's all listed right here. When you get through listing all your expenses, payroll total expense, well, just the payroll expense was $9,000 in the restaurant for that month. Okay, when you get total expenses done down here, it was
So it's basically just going in the hole.
the restaurant lost $3,545 that
In 1 month.
In 1 month. Okay, so that was then. And every department was broke down like that. The motel, the lounge, every one was broke down. The pro shop, everything, okay? Now, we go to February of 2022. The restaurant, well, I think the restaurant brought in $10,000. Their food expense was this. So they lost about $7,000 in February. And every ones that I've looked at, that restaurant's losing roughly $7,000 a month. About $80,000-$90,000 a year of our money, okay?
Now, are they counting the bar with the restaurant?
Nope,
No,
that's just,
That's just one.
the lounge is separate. You can go right here. The lounge is the only thing made any money up there, and it didn't make a bunch. The pro shop in 18, net income was minus $899. That because we had an employee there that we ended up getting rid of, and it did the next year. It did a swing from losing $30,000 a year to making 40. It's a $75,000 swing.
Wow.
So the motel never made money. Motel lost $1,157 in 18 in March. And then we even had the pool down, what it made. Now here's the lounge. The net income for the lounge was $1,000 for the month. It made $1,000 after you paid all your expenses. Okay. Now understand this was 18. Everything's got a lot better as it went along. This is kind of early 18. But anyway, the other thing is with what I got on the budget was our payroll right now, total payroll for Falconhead is roughly $900,000 a year. But the difference is, it's about the payroll when I was there was about $800,000 a year. But the difference is we did everything in-house. I'd have to look at it to make sure, but I think they spent somewhere around $200,000 to $300,000 hiring stuff done. So you have to take the stuff that they can't do in-house and what they hired done, and that puts their payroll over $1 million. So that's another issue, okay? Not only that, this board right now would be broke already if it wasn't for the land they sold at the campgrounds, 100 and something acres. It was 150 or so $1,000. They sold 100 lots to some people in here that were going to develop. They got $100,000 out of that. That's $200,000. They got $100,000 from COVID.
Almost 200,000.
And so
Yeah, that's still being questioned.
and with the money they got, if they hadn't got what they had, they'd already be broke. They wouldn't have any money. And they ain't gonna be able to sell that land over again. They're not gonna get COVID money again. So are we gonna just sit back and let them go broke and run us in the hole $150,000 again? That's pretty much where I'm at with all this, and that's what I've got some more stuff I'm doing research on, but if you don't get involved and figure out and start supporting all this, you're gonna wake up one day and it's gonna be a mess.